Hello everyone. I thought I would take some time this week to review the assignment for the week. I get a lot of questions, lots of emails because students are confused about what's expected and how to actually do the assignment because it's a little different than what you're probably used to. So I thought we'd go in and talking about Module 5, which is Financing Healthcare, and we'll go down and look at the assignment. First thing I want to encourage you to do with this assignment, well, with every assignment really, is to make sure you read all of the directions. A lot of students lose points because they don't follow the directions on this assignment. So even though you're reading along here and you know all of this is pretty standard and you kind of glimpse over all this and you go, okay, I got it, compare, contrast these 3 questions, 1, 2, 3, got it. And off you go. But what a lot of people miss is this particular statement. Please submit one APA formatted table that highlights the above content and make sure to include a title and a reference page. The assignment should have a minimum of 2 scholarly sources in addition to the textbook. One APA formatted table. Now, for those people who do read it, all of it, they go, well, what does that look like, and how do and I've never done that, and what does that mean? No worries. Let's review what has to be included in this table. So we're looking at managed care organizations emphasize physician responsibilities to control access to expensive hospitalization and specialty care. This is a principle dubbed gatekeeping. Some argue that gatekeeping is unethical because it introduces financial factors into treatment decisions. Others say it improves quality by promoting the use of the most appropriate care at all levels. Then you have to contrast that with Medicare is an area that often gets overlooked and it's seen as a burden financially. So discuss alternatives to ease the drain on Medicare resources. Medicaid is shouldering an ever-increasing burden of cost for long-term care for the elderly, with enormous impacts on state budgets throughout the nation. Discuss alternatives to ease the drain on Medicare resources. So as you're considering these 3 questions, you want to be able to highlight, compare and contrast each of the questions as they relate to managed care organizations, Medicare, and Medicaid with one another and explain how they're similar and different to each other. So that's what your table should do. It should compare and contrast the similarities and the differences of these 3 entities, managed care organizations, Medicare, and Medicaid. Then you go to your trustee APA manual, which is a textbook for the course. And I'm going to tell you, if you haven't purchased this book, you probably want to make sure you either purchase it via Kindle, like I have here, or an actual paper copy, because you'll be using it throughout your master's program. You want to go to Chapter 5 in this book, Displaying Results. And in Chapter 5, it talks about how to display your results, most specifically the formatting tables and figures. And it talks about how to format them, what that should look like, how to number them, if you've had permission to reproduce data displays, talks about how to make them concise, talks about how to lay them out. All of the information you need about this particular assignment and how to create a table will be displayed in Chapter 5. It even gives you a basic outline of a table, tells you all of the components that a table should have. I often get asked if I have any examples to share. Unfortunately, I don't have examples that I'm willing to pass out to students, but I will share a couple of examples of papers that I've received that have gotten fairly high marks. One of the papers that I have, this one I thought was really good in that it included, not only did it include a title page, but it also included an introduction, which told me what I was going to be looking at within the table. Then it went on to do the table, the compare and the contrasting. As you can see, it was pretty detailed. And then they include a conclusion, which tells me, kind of summarizes the data for me. Now, this paper lost a little bit of points because of the way that the table was formatted. Although it's formatted good, the table that I'm about to show you actually received full credit because they made sure to include the note section. So if you're going to use abbreviations, or you're going to use anything that needs to be explained, you need to make sure you explain it in the footer of the table. So hopefully these two examples will help you in your completion of this assignment. Again, you can reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. So good luck, and hope you do well.